So it's true. You scattered the goblins. Peace can finally return to this corner of the Sword Coast. Thank you. As am I. And I'm sure those poor refugees would quite agree. Of course. May you keep balance.
Speak. If you must know, Gith requires everything of her children. I can't count how many bruises I've inflicted. Can't measure how much blood I've drawn in the Undying Queen's name. I know only blood red and death black. My mind is silver, and my body steel. I am what I must be, say what I must be, to survive every beast I face and every wound I bear. The party's full. You'll need to make room. Well chosen.
Will's brows furrow as your minds connect. He sees the burning embers of Joaquin's rest, then Floric's face as she tells you of Ravengard's abduction.
Hells. Older Ravengard's been taken. I know him better than most. He's my father. I know I haven't said. Our relation was no matter of pride, not least for him. Thank you. That means a lot. But I wonder, what makes a Duke of Baldur's Gate so interesting to the Drow? Even the houses of Men's Oberanzen would have little use for my father. No, this is no Drow plot. These absolute nutters, these true souls are behind his abduction. His absence alone will sow chaos in the city. If they were to infect him, he could lead Baldur's Gate to ruin. All the more reason to find him. The Absolute has seized not just my father, but the future of the Sword Coast. I know, and you're right. My story is one of two men. The Blade of Frontiers, a man hunting the fiends who prey on the weak and claw at the coast. And Will Ravengard, a memory of a memory. A man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind.
Dragon Rider, my kin are near.
Damn thing could blot out the sun.
Suggest we admire it from afar. You go a lifetime without seeing one, and then they won't stop pestering you. Drop your weapons!
I'll feed your innards to the ants before I do that, Istik.
This is your last chance!
No, look up. That was your last chance, Istik. Now burn!
Stop wasting time, Beretta. You're not here to play with the locals.
Of course, Kithrak. We merely sought to...
No excuses. Question, kill, then move on. Find the weapon. Our queen watches us. Fail her at your peril.
A red dragon. I envy its knight. Would that I rode such a steed. A Creche must be near. Come, my kin await. The dragons serve Githyanki. I'll see it does you no harm. Follow me. We are close to the cure we seek.
Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
Kithrak, we must speak.
Ryder, my time is short. Lead me to...
Shh, shh, shh. Such a familiar tone. Were I not merciful, I would slice the skin clean from your meat. Yet you are not bleeding. For I am nothing if not merciful. Your name, child.
Lae'zel.
Lae'zel. Proud. Regal, even. You will call me Gestil Kithrak.
Voss, Knight Supreme. The Queen's silver, the the Queen's sword.
I am who you say. A Gith vessel has fallen from the sky, Lae'zel. Thieves aboard have taken a weapon most precious. It is polyhedric in shape and inscribed with the sacred runes of our people.
You suddenly feel a strange anxiety take hold. Not your own, but that of the artifact you carry. Somehow, it's afraid you attune your mind to it. The artifact does not want to part from you. It does not want to fall into the Gith Raiders' hands.
Take word to your Creche. You are to join our search. Speak up, child. Affirm your mandate.
You honor me with this duty, Githrak. I shall alert my caretaker with haste.
The Githrak nods, content with Lae'zel's answer.
You serve your queen well, child. Take your slaves and hunt those who escaped the Gith ship. They must carry the weapon. I fly now to Vlaakith, our undying queen. She will see your faith rewarded in this plane and ours.
A current of deception carries Voss's words. Wherever he flies, it is not to Vlaakith.
To Danos! To the sky!
Damn it all! You did well to intervene, vexed as I am to admit it. The Gestil Githrak would have flayed our skin and left our carcasses to burn in the sun. All for the sake of the artifact that we carry. The Creche is near, this much we know. We follow the path forward and into the valley. No one, not even the ignoble Gestil Githrak, will keep me from my purification.
Yes, darling.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Wait. These markings. Tirsu's script scratched in the ground. A creche must be nested in the temple below. We must go there at once. Githyanki writing. Every word a wheel. Every letter is spoke. The most powerful texts are engraved in slate. Some so ancient, only the most erudite Gish can read them. You don't have to trust them, only to trust me. I have not failed you yet, and I have no intentions of it now. I don't need you to believe me for it to be true. Very well, you may lead. But if we stray too far that our chance is lost, I'll make my way there alone.
What's in here?
Blessed be you, pilgrim. Take respite now in the dawn's loving gaze.
Looks like Lathander, god of the dawning sun.
A friendly face. Oh, you are a sweet, sweet blessing, my dear. You know, I've had nothing but trouble all day. I've been accosted, chased, insulted. Look over there. Do you see that wretched little hive? Oh, I mean no offense to the Morning Lord. I simply prefer when his monasteries aren't overrun with brutish, stupid, rude Githyanki.
Brutish and rude by your wretched standards, but stupid. Chucky.
Your charming companion would call it a creche, but it was built on what remained after the Githyanki slaughtered all of the monks. I'd call it a murderous training camp.
Acutely observed on both counts.
Honestly, I was doing them a favor offering to buy one of their eggs. And how am I repaid? Attacked and run off like some transient. What? No, of course not. I was merely... well... Look, it's just an egg. The Society of Brilliance asked me to acquire one of their roe so they can incubate it and, once it hatches, raise the spawn in their tradition.
Please, do enlighten me. What is this tradition?
The Society believes a Githyanki raised in a peaceful, nurturing environment can overcome its violent nature. I'm sure your friend would agree. A Githyanki is as likely to forsake its violent nature as a gnome is to fly. You've been sipping from the same goblet as the Society. Perhaps you'd be willing to help then, to prove your point. They may have chased me away, but surely the Gith would welcome a person with such sympathetic views to their creche. And once inside, you could simply purloin an egg.
Steal one of Gith's own. I will slit your throat for even suggesting it.
I'm not talking to you. You'll be well compensated, of course. Just bring me an egg. I should hope so. When adventure calls, I am always thoroughly prepared. Take a look. Now, I believe... Have you given any more thought to the retrieval of that Githyanki egg? To settle a debate, nature or nurture. The Society of Brilliance believes that it's possible to raise a Githyanki to be good. An awful proposition that must be disproven once and for all. Excuse me, were you not listening? I am on a mission, and I will not be stopped by the likes of you or your wretched Gith.
A tale for the ages.
Victory awaits. Time to push my luck again.
Yes, darling.
Approach the fairy in Lathander's grace. May his gaze shine upon you, pilgrim.
Might not be the time. That was tough. This can't have been used in a while.
Another ruined temple full of foul-smelling beasts, spoiling for a fight.
No mere temple. This was a monastery, devoted as much to study as to worship.
Oh, how agreeable. So it'll be free of foul-smelling beasts, then?
Quite the opposite. Some monastic orders celebrated their pungency as proof of their devotion. To think is to stink, was the motto of one ill-fated brotherhood near Arm. Oh, you meant beasts of the life-threatening variety. Yes, I'm sure it's teeming with those.
That's enough. On your feet.
Where are you taking us?
If this is about that weapon your friend was talking about, we don't have it and we don't know shit about it.
Silence! Move!
No. No, I'm not going in there. I won't.
Anyone want to join her? As I thought. Through the doors. Now! The captain is expecting you.
Forward, carefully. These cultists have the Creche on high alert.
So the Githyanki aren't fond of the cultists. Could be a good thing. Is someone crying? That's curious. What's that?
That kobold reeks of spirits. Fire could be explosive.
I will ascend.
May the dice roll in my favor. Certainly. Let's do it. Mistra Rill. My turn.
can't even catch my breath.
I will ascend.
Swords meet sorcery. One by one. Eat this!
Blackets will be done.
What's that?
No rest for the wicked, I see.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have. Sometimes the only way out is through.
The witching hour.
Time to strike.
Well, so much for peace.
I don't fancy their chances.
Time to strike.
A wizard's quite worthless with a tired mind. Sleep beckons, and I would follow.
Hey, soldier, well, I'm not feeling so good. My engine is getting worse. Feels like it's going to burst out of my chest. We need to catch up with Damon. See if he's thought of a way to fix this thing. If it can be fixed. Well, I imagine it's lights out, Big K. And then it'll be just you, your parasite, and the wild yonder. I'm sure you'd manage. But this old girl's got a few things to do before it comes to that.
Feed if you must, Astarion. But give me so much as a hungry look, and I'll drive a stake through your heart.
I'll strike you down.
Dawnmaster Seed.
Talking statues are never a good sign.
The Thunder forgive me. We have to fire the lance.
That's curious.
Within the artifact, a feeling stirs. Uncertainty.
Your curiosity is getting the better of you. Do not let it. Stay away from the Githyanki.
Should be easy.
They're hunting you. They want the artifact. They'll stop at nothing to take it from you.
That's a Githyanki blade, if ever I saw one. That might be worth a look.
contraption's a hot ticket item. Might not be our last scrap for its sake. You really did it, huh? Not worried about adding more lithid into the mix? Well, what can I say? You look fine, smell fine, seem fine. And yet, you're more mind flayer than ever. Hope you don't expect me to follow your lead in this. Do they? I'm not sure either of us can say one way or the other. We don't know what the costs might be just yet. How do you do that? Always making sense when I least want you to. Fine. I'll keep an open mind, all right? I can promise that much. Now, are we done here?
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep. Just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all. You won't find a more learned opinion on this matter, I assure you.
Volo carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle.
Don't fidget. The needle must slip behind your eye, not through it.
The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volo frowns and begins to push. Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it!
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement.
Volo carefully withdraws the needle from your eye. Then, reaching into his bag, he produces an ice pick. Volo slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now, don't move.
Cold metal presses against the skin beneath your brow. And then, tap, tap, stab.
Do you feel that? Ha! I think we have the blighter on the run. I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further.
Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Drat.
He pauses, looks down at your eye, and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
There appears to be an amount of cosmetic damage. Please, try not to overexert yourself. You're in a rather fragile state at present. I can't help but feel partly responsible. Perhaps there is something more I can do. Take this. A far superior relic to that old jelly you were chained to. Try it on for size. And, it was very nice to have met you. I'm sure you'll sort out your little brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend. Ta.
Yes, darling.
Githyanki patrolling these wilds is an unexpected surprise. Whatever they seek, they'll not hesitate to kill us if we stand in their way.
Welcome to the League of the Lone Eye, my friend. Not to minimize the pain of Volo's poking and prodding, but I promise, you'll be used to the prosthesis in no time. Besides, I find it gives one an air of mystique. No one's more intriguing than a woman with one eye. Not so enchanting as you'd think. The Portiers, the Caldwells, they were the blue bloods hosting the fancy balls and drinking from gold goblets. Father's the son of a blacksmith, born with barely a coin in the coffers. He made a name for himself among the Flaming Fist. Brave as Baldur and stubborn as a deep Rothe. Daring, outspoken, but hardly posh. I spent more time dueling with Father than I did rubbing elbows with lords. Not to say I didn't develop a taste for good wine and the talent for courtly dance. Yes and no. Father taught me the 4 pillars of power. Courage, insight, strategy, justice. He reckoned I'd follow in his footsteps. First as a fist marshal, then as a duke. Vanquish evil, maintain order, save the world. But a duke makes bedfellows with more monsters than he slays. Father called it diplomacy. I called it hypocrisy. In the frontiers, there is no posturing, no diplomacy. I slay monsters. I don't consort with them. Even if I might look like one.